Hello Wolfpack, we're here on Telcoin USD on the KuCoin chart on TradingView. We've got the daily chart and we've got the 4-hourly chart ready to go to give you guys both a long-term and a shorter-term view on what is happening with the price action on Telcoin. We're also going to be diving into the fundamentals briefly. We can see what Telcoin is here. Telcoin essentially, as we can just read out what they've got here on their website, there are nearly 5 times more mobile phones than active bank accounts, yet people around the world are still lining up to send money through high-cost remittance agents like Western Union. Basically, why waste time and money when you could be using what's already in your pocket? Now, this makes sense. It kind of plays into what cryptocurrency is all about. Why waste time and money, setting up a bank account, paying bank account maintenance fees, when you could just be using your mobile device through a cryptocurrency service like Telcoin. They have an app on the App Store, for Apple and Android devices. So obviously it's basically accessible to 99% of people who have mobile phones, unless you don't have a phone that accesses either of those networks, which is very unlikely in this day and age. We can see on Telcoin, if we look into CoinMarketCap, Telcoin has a max supply of 100 billion coins. It currently has 54 billion coins in supply, which is 54%. What I will be looking for Telcoin, it came out into the market in 2018, in which it didn't really get much volume, only 36 million volume on the 24-hour day. At the peak currently in this bull market, it reached its peak of around almost 200 million volume in May this year. So it's obviously much bigger than it was in the last bull run, and you don't really need to look at volume to see that. You can just see the all-time high is much higher. But essentially, what we will be expecting on Telcoin is the next bull run to actually be the really big bull run. If Telcoin can sustain this level of demand that it's had in this bull run, in the next bull run, when the circulating supply will be significantly more in comparison to the max supply, Telcoin whales would have had time to accumulate and hold on to coins, and there will be less supply on exchanges of Telcoin, and we'll basically go into a massive a pump due to the lack of supply and the abundance of demand. So that's just basic supply and demand principles. That's what's happening with Bitcoin, one of the reasons why it's going up. And that could happen with Telcoin, but obviously it's a big ask for an altcoin to maintain its demand over a 4-year period until the next bull cycle, but we'll just have to see how it goes. The next bull cycle could be massive for Telcoin. Obviously this one has been massive in comparison to 2018, but I'm just really got my eyes on the next one, making sure that Telcoin keeps developing their products, keeps releasing onto different markets, partnering with different, mobile service providers, things like that would be nice to see from Telcoin, keeping their customers kind of involved and their community active. Now, what we can see here on Telcoin on the daily chart is a move up from February or March of around, let's see, a massive move up here of around 16x from the lows of the bear market. That's actually not quite the lows of the bear market, but that's around 16x from March when the bull markets really started to kick in. So obviously most of that movement would have come from around a 2 to 3 week period in late April and early May. You can only imagine in a move like that all fundamental analysis goes out the window, and it's basically just a wave of FOMO with not much investment strategy, and that is why Telcoin essentially dropped down much more than most altcoins, 86%, 85% down to this support block here, where we were able to pick up Telcoin. On our Telegram group, we released a trading signal just below 1 cent, from which point, and that trading signal was released on July 20th or July 21st. So basically at the bottom of this drop here, which is very nice to see, we reached profits of around 220% from that point. If you haven't joined the Telegram group, it's totally free. Make sure to join it. The link is in the description below and in the comments, where we release trading signals, market updates for market movements like big market movers like Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, Bitcoin dominance chart, things like that. So what happened for Telcoin here? Now, if we zoom in, we can see that after this drop of around 86%, we found support in this region. We can zoom up a little bit more. Found support in this region here just below a cent. Bounced up over this support block here just below 2 cents. We dropped back down. We kind of bounced around a little bit between the 50 SMA and the 200-day SMA, getting clamped between. Ultimately, when a price when the price gets clamped between two fundamental MAs, you either see a strong break to the downside or a strong break to the upside. We ended up seeing that strong break to the upside here after we were able to capture the 200-day SMA and hold it as support, in effect letting us break through that bull market support band, which is this orange band here, which consists of the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA. So bouncing over that was a great step in the right direction for Telcoin. However, we have seen a correction on Bitcoin, and hence Telcoin has dropped from that 2.9 cents region back below to the 2.3 cent region, in which we've kind of been retesting this bull market support band, retesting the 21-week EMA. We saw a drop below here on this last red candle, but we might be lining up for a bullish engulfing green candle to quickly correct from that drop down. What am I seeing for the future in Telcoin on this chart? Well, I can see that immediately in September, which is this yellow box that I've outlined here, that we could be looking for a bit of a corrective month. And why do I say that? Well, I say that because in cryptocurrency, in the crypto market, September is the most bearish month in crypto, historically speaking. How do things like this occur? Well, there's no particular reason why September is bearish. Usually what happens is a natural trend plays out, kind of rolling the dice in each month, and it turns out that September seems to have more red months than green months, and this kind of gets built into investor psychology, where people start to believe that there's something inherently wrong with September, and they start to sell in September, and it turns into a massive snowball effect where September ends up actually having bearish side effects rather than just coincidences of the market dropping in September. So September is going to be bearish, most likely. It will be interesting if it is not bearish, but most likely it will be bearish. Will be leading to retests of possibly this 200-day SMA, definitely the 20-week SMA at the bottom of this bull market support band here. Whether we will actually drop down below this green support box is a big question that we should be asking. I don't think that's going to be happening, just purely because of the fact that even when we saw essentially what was a double top here, as you can see in August and July, at this 2.2 cent region, we still didn't drop below this green box. So this green box seems to be heavily supported, and this 200-day SMA will be moving through this green box here, so there'll be extra support as well as the 50 SMA. And we are actually avoiding a def cross. A def cross would occur if the 50 SMA, which is this red line, crossed below the 200-day SMA, but you can see that the red line is curving away from that green line right now. So we just avoided a def cross, which would have been, fundamentally and exponentially very bearish for Telcoin, but we seem to be avoiding all of the bearish indicators and staying above those indicators that will make us bullish. So it's not looking too badly on Telcoin. We'll definitely be looking to take back the all-time high, not in September, but possibly in October or November this year as the market starts to recover. We could be seeing, just off rough drawing, a drop down here in September, kind of some bouncing around, and then continuation upwards towards the end of the year. And we will reach a point, obviously, where we will be blowing it off top as the all-time high for Bitcoin kicks in, Bitcoin dominance drop, and altcoin dominance rises, and then we'll be seeing, exponential growth in Telcoin, most likely past its all-time high, as we see a similar wave of FOMO as we did in the April and May move here on Telcoin. Usually with coins like Telcoin, we have very strong patterns. Telcoin has established itself to be a very sharp mover. As you can see, there's not much general upwards movements in an upwards trend. It's just sharp moves up and sharp moves down. It's one of those coins similar to a lot of coins we've analyzed on this channel before. All right, now we have the 4-hourly chart on Telcoin, where we can see some short-term price movement in the last few days. As you can see, we've seen a bounce off that 1.7 cent support block. We've moved up and we've seen some resistance just below this 3.1 cent zone. We've entered a downwards channel, which is typically a bullish formation, and we've actually seen a break of this downwards channel, but two red candles immediately. So we're having some resistance just below this 26 SMA. What we want to be seeing in the short term here, if we zoom out on Telcoin, is actually a bounce off of the top of this channel, which would confirm that it is broken for support. We don't want to see a drop back into the channel, so this is very short term. If we see a bounce out of this channel, we will be seeing some upwards movement, in which we will be looking to take this 3.1 cent resistance zone. Now, if we take that 3.1 cent resistance zone, we'll be in a favorable position for September, which is typically a bearish month. Now, we want to obviously take as much support as we can heading into a bearish month, so we will drop the least amount possible. We have a point of control here on the volume profile, this red line here. Now, what a point of control is basically a point where there is the most buying pressure in this visible chart here. So this point of control is currently sitting just below the current price at around 2.2 cents. The current price is 2.3 cents. So we have some support in case of a drop down into this descending channel. I think that we'll be breaking out of a descending channel here. Bitcoin is lining up for it as well. And if we do break out of a descending channel properly here and see a green candle upwards, we'll also be seeing, if we zoom in, we'll be seeing a bullish MACD cross here that will support the move up to the 3.1 cent zone. So we're not looking too badly on Telcoin. As for where it will go at the end of the year, it is hard to say. And the reason that it's hard to say is because we're already basically in price discovery. In comparison to the last bull market, we're already, almost 10x to the last bull market's all-time high. So whether it will go higher, that's anyone's guess. I think it will go higher than its all-time high. It's only natural for that to happen as altcoin dominance dropped, but it is very hard to say as to where it will go. All right, so thank you for watching the video, guys. I hope you've learned something about Telcoin. I hope you've added it to your watch list potentially. It's not in a bad position right now. Just to summarize, September could be a bearish month where we'll be looking to buy Telcoin in this green box. But if it goes above that box and holds above that box, we'll possibly be looking for coins that are more on the ground than Telcoin. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.